Hey guys, welcome back to Trendy Gadget. Today we'll tell you why you should buy the M2 MacBook Pro. Let's head into it. M1X. Late 2021. We started hearing about the development of an M1X chip earlier this year, and it looks to be an amazing appearance in the redesigned 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro later this year. Much like the A12X in the 2018 iPad Pro, it will be built on the same architecture as the existing M1 processor, but bring faster all-around performance. According to CPU Monkey, which claims to have received benchmarks for the upcoming chip, the M1X could have a 12-core CPU with 10 high-performance cores and 2 high-efficiency cores, and a 16-core GPU with 256 execution units. It shared 32GB L2 cache and up to 64GB of LPDDR4X. In a slightly different take, Mark Gurman has reported slightly different M1X CPU specs.
So instead of 8 CPU and 8 GPU cores, it could have 12 or 16, maybe even 32 or 64.
M2. Early 2022. Apple's M2 chip will likely arrive in the next MacBook Air, which looks to get a complete redesign with the new colors to match the 24-inch iMac. According to Bloomberg, Apple's next generation processor will include the same number of computing cores as the M1 but run faster. That's similar to how Apple approaches A-series upgrades, which has had 6 cores since the A11 processor despite vastly improved performance. As far as the GPU goes, Bloomberg reports that the cores will increase from 7 or 8 to 9 or 10. The colorful redesign of the MacBook Air could be the first M2 machine. We don't know yet how speeds compare, but based on previous chips, we can expect the M2 processor to actually be a bit slower than the M1X chip. The same limitations on USB 4 Thunderbolt and RAM will likely remain as well, since Apple is establishing non-X chips as consumer products for users who aren't as demanding.
This new MacBook is basically gonna revolutionize the industry all over again, just like Apple did with the original MacBook Air.
M2X. Late 2022. According to reports, Apple is planning an even higher-end chip for the Mac Pro and possibly a larger iMac. The chip will likely have several tiers of performance, which could come in 20 or 40 computing core variations, made up of 16 high-performance or 32 high-performance cores and 4 or 8 high-efficiency cores. According to a Bloomberg report, the workstation caliber chip is also rumored to have a 64-core or 128-core options for graphics, which would replace the AMD GPUs in current models. Those specs are comparable to what Intel and AMD offer in their top-of-the-line chips and would challenge the fastest PCs, at least on paper.
You gotta go with M2X, right? To make it crystal clear that the MacBook Pros released in 2021 are more powerful.
The newest news. According to Nikkei Asia, Apple's next-generation custom silicon chip for the Mac, tentatively dubbed the M2 chip, entered production in April. The processors take at least 3 months to produce and could begin shipping to Apple as early as July, in time for incorporation in the MacBook Pro. According to the publication sources, the M2 chip is expected to bring major performance improvements to the upcoming MacBook Pro models. Produced by Apple supplier TSMC, the custom silicon M1 chip has made its debut late last year in the Mac Mini, MacBook Air, and 13-inch MacBook Pro, bringing considerable performance improvements and battery efficiency over the Intel chips it replaced. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman previously said that Apple is working on a higher-end Apple silicon chip that are expected to significantly outpace the performance of the latest Macs that still contain Intel chips, and explained that Apple's next 2 M-series chips will be even more ambitious than expected. The new chips will be several times faster than the current ones that Apple uses in high-end Intel machines. The new chip is also set to support additional Thunderbolt ports for expanded connectivity. The new 14-inch MacBook Pro and 16-inch MacBook Pro models are rumored to feature new designs, brighter panels with higher contrast, function keys with no touch bar, more ports, and a MagSafe connector for charging. The new MacBook Pro models with the next generation Apple Silicon chip are widely anticipated to launch in the second half of 2021, potentially as soon as this summer or even at WWDC next week. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.